Twilight goes exploring. What? It has about as much to do with the rest of the fic. Twilight looked down to the dig site, comparing it to the meticulously drawn map hovering in front of her. She stood on one of the rolling Ghibli hills, looking down the valley where dozens of crystal pony laborers were digging into the side of the first, rather seventh hill, digging for the entrance to the tomb of the forefathers. Imagine, she might be standing in the very spot that Queen Vivid Vision had when she had marked the royal seal. The thought gave her shivers. There were footsteps behind her. She turned and saw her friends heading up the hill behind her. "Whoo! I folks to the tits of the eye," Alpsec said. She nodded to the direction of the dig down below. "So this is the place, huh? How long till we get a look-see at this tomb, do you figure?" "It won't be much longer," Twilight told her. "They just got the door cleared away. Once they make sure it's braced and the entryway safe, we'll go on in." She looked around. "Where's Randy and Fluttershy?" "Fluttershy and Rarity get back at the palace," Rainbow Dash said, giving a dismissive roll of her eyes. "Why? They're going to miss a big moment." Oh, Jack chuckled. "Think about it, Sugar Cube," she said. "Rarity, Dirt." Although, now that I think about it, Rarity would go gaga over a chance to see some fancy diamonds or some jewelry, so why wouldn't she buy hair? The, the math doesn't seem up. Remember, reality check goes to the Mikan School of Writing Rarity. Oh, so get ready for some plagiarization. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, oh, well, since Rarity's going down, Fluttershy's going down with her. Yeah, those two tend to go damn bad in these flicks. So, any pony want to go grab a couple of drops of cider? No! Girls, we're staying with the rest of this fit. Rainbow Dash, continue reading your lines. Nixie, your parents are giving the nickel to her right now. There's a shout down from below. Twilight brightened. "Looks like you've got the entryway cleared," Twilight said. "Come on, everybody, let's go take a look." They ascended the hill quickly, passing through the tiny little camp to join other ponies gathered at the dig. They had unearthed an enormous stone archway, easily 10 hooves high and nearly as many wide. What appeared to be an enormous pair of stone doors, decorated with dozens of detailed carvings. The interns were now earning their class cred, carefully brushing and cleaning away the dirt and earth from the grooves in the enormous slab. Twilight and her friends oohed, impressed. "Cool!" Rainbow said, jumping out of her hover light next to Twilight. "You think there'll be any traps of mummies or ancient pony curses and stuff?" "Archaeology isn't anything like it is in the daring books," Rainbow asked, Twilight said, rolling her eyes. "No traps, no mummies. Well, maybe a few in Zabrinka. No snakes and pits. Just a lot of very careful digging and a lot of research."
A point that you've been paid to explain to my students,"
Thereupon said. It was Professor Dubious. "Why?"
Trying over to them. "If ponies will do more of it, I have a lot less work myself. Good afternoon, Miss Bucko. I see the dig proceeds apace."
Rainbow Dash scowled at them both. "You people could suck the excitement out of anything," she grumbled. The excitement of the discovery of the lost tomb had taken the essence off the animosity between Dubious and the others. They were far from bosom companions, but at least the open hostility was put aside for the sake of the work ahead. "I think it's still pretty exciting," Pinkie Pie said, now stopping her hopping for a moment. "And you're not the only one," Twilight Sparkle chuckled. "Roller Wheel is going bonkers with that camera of his, all over the dig site, getting footage and commentary. It's a great moment for the Crystal Pony history. He's really excited."
Dubious frowned. "Yes, him and every other nationalistic crystal pony," he said. "I hope you have a plan for how to deal with the big pony tomorrow."
"What?"
"Yes, the giant pony that's going to be a blast to the talk of the town. Everyone will come and fight."
"Pinkie, stop changing his script!" "Sorry."
Oh, thank you. "I hope you have a plan for how to deal with Rainbow Dash being awesome."
"Yes!"
"I hope you have a plan for how to get those cocky no good farmers out of my fields."
"Applejack!"
"I hope you have a plan for how Twilight is going to face off against a whole horde of."
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
"I hope you have a plan for how to deal with the disappointment."
"Disappointment," Twilight said, incredulous. "We rediscovered almost forgotten Crystal Pony lore, unraveled a 1,000-year-old Crystal Pony mystery, and it found one of the most important relics of Crystal Pony civilization. Every step of the way has been a monumental achievement. We're literally at the doorstep of the lost temple of the founders, and you still think we're on a wild goose chase? This moment, Roller Weird King standing up, bringing a worried camera to Beer. What's this about wild goose chase? Oh, come on, Professor. Don't tell me that you're a sore loser. Look, I get the doubting Thomas. I get that he's trying to do for a whole entire some sort of meaning behind this, but this does not work. It just does not work.
Not about being a winner or loser, also or otherwise, he said stiffly. Not going where the evidence leads. A fact I admit myself forgotten from time to time.
You may glancing embarrassed at Rainbow Dash.
Science is a very confrontational practice, and one tends to overcome over-eager to find a hill to die on, as it were. But as I say to my colleague, Miss Sparkle, one can't let expectations run away from them. I recall not long ago one pony trumpeting the discovery of lost hideout of Al Capone. They're going there. An interesting discovery in and of itself, but he built up such fanfare about it that police were chatting about it from stances of ill-gotten gains to the possibility of finding papers and journals by the notorious criminal even before they stop.
No. No, no, no. Using Geraldo Riviero's greatest mistake is not a good excuse. Just no. You you couldn't even use a ponyfied version of his name? Just no. Bad thing.
I'm just cautioning that every pony has come to expect some glorious treasure out of writing of a Dory novel. With all likelihood, it'll be more than a few buried bones and some odd ceremonial trinkets. An already discovery for a scholar, perhaps, but vastly disappointing for any common pony hoping for the tomb of Trocket Common. His expression surprisingly softened. I'm just saying, lad, don't get your hopes too high, or they'll be dashed. What do you say to that, Professor Twilight?
First of all, I'm not Professor Eller. Twice said apologetically. And yes, Professor Dubious has a fair point. No, he doesn't. Expectations are awfully high right now, considering the fact that we're in a place where legends do exist. It's kind of like trying to say
Facetious don't exist in
Extandia when their greatest heroes wielded them. But what Lily found alright is priceless beyond measure. We found a lost tomb. No matter what comes next, this expedition is a success. Either way, Raymond Dash said, could I have one of those adventure hats like yours? She pointed at Twilight's fifth helmet. Dash, Twilight said irritating. Oh, good idea, he said. Suddenly, every other door head sported a hat. Dubious removed his new pith helmet and gave the pink party pony.
How,
Prince let the hoof over his mouth. Better not to ask, trust me. There's a commotion at the door. Several interns with cameras stepped in close, flash rolls pulping. What's going on? Twilight asked one of the nearby ponies.
They got the door cleared off and they found some mechanism to open it,
The intern said. To Jerry's excitement. Twilight squealed. This is quick! Everybody, get the relay crystal up! The relay crystal? Twilight ran over where a group of workers was lifting an enormous crystal obelisk out of a shipping crate, setting it up on the end. She led her matches to the effort, setting a stand. Yes, it's like crystal radio, except they can relay mimesis as well as voice, Twilight said. The obelisk gives her the reins to reach the spire in the Crystal Palace, while they'll be protecting humans on a large cloud screen so the whole city can see what we see. She pulled the enormous octagon cut crystal out of the open crate. Her front facet was nearly as large as her head. Well, Twilight, Dash chuckled. Well, you go for the bleed. You don't mess around. Twilight started a sarcastic look. Ha ha, she said. This is the Ice Stone. What it sees gets projected up on the screen back at Crystal City. She set it up on the tripod facing towards the door.
Oh, you should have set it up for me,
Roller said. He started waving himself around. The three looked inside.
You need at least two of those things. The third set back in the hill for wide angle shots. Free moving one carried by a pony and close stuff.
He noticed the other ponies were giving on looks.
And I think I'll go up on the hill and get some wide angle footage when the door opens.
Right up the hill, Twilight and her friends had vacated, blazing highly under Lova's grill. Is every pony ready? Twilight called out. As soon as the affirmative came back. The ponies behind her began clearing away from the door. Twilight nodded nervously at her head. Okay, let's do this. A horn glowed. The aura fell to the gem facing her. She tapped a little hoof. Hello, Princess Cadence? Are you there? A face appeared on the translucent surface of the gem. The face of the royal ruler of the Crystal Empire. Yes, we're picking you up loud and clear, Twilight, she said. Get ready. We're about to link the feed up to the cloud projector in 5, 4, 3, 2. Miles away, Princess Cadence, attended by her husband, tuned the elements of harmony, and Spike lowered her horn and activated the second gem. Light from the gem led down from the royal balcony where they stood, illuminating the enormous rectangular cloud hovering overhead. Twilight Sparkle's grinning face appeared, 100 feet high, visible to the thousands of ponies gathered below. Hello? Hello? The enormous speakers dangling from the palace archway burned. Thank you, one and all. My name is Twilight Sparkle. Princess Celestia, and courtesy of Princess Cadence and Prince Armor, we have arranged this little setup so all of you can witness this monumental occasion of the Crystal Empire in equestrian history, the opening of the Tomb of the Founders. A loud cheer went up from the crowd of crystal ponies scattered below. Among them were Nyx, Bright Eyes, and the CMC, separated by Nyx's grandparents. The foals had been bundles of nearly uncontrollable excitement during the entire setup. Kingdom Crusaders had managed to wheel an entire extra day or two in the Crystal Empire by playing the educational value of being right there for the opening of the tomb, at the cost of each having a report due for school when they get back home. Trade-offs. The foals had pinballed back and forth between watching everything on the balcony and watching everything from the ground below. The food carts carrying to the crowds below had made the deciding vote much simpler. Skula was snarfing her way through a funnel cake. Boy, Spikes are messed up, she said, licking the powdered stuff over her lips. Didn't look like he wanted to stay up there on the balcony. Sleepbell was carrying a massive cotton candy that was literally larger than her entire body. She could go pointing at the balcony. We're very right there. No way Spike would get any more than 2 feet away from my sister if he'd help it. Hey, Spike, Bryce said, apparently thin air. How's it look from up there? High above, the tiny dragon pressed the call to his ear fin and weighed down. Briefly dislodging the baby phoenix perched on his shoulder. It looks good, Kid the teen replied from all his Bryce could hear. So absolutely perfect. There's a long sigh. Bright Eyes has recently introduced Spike and the Kingdom Crusaders to a very popular toy in the Crystal Empire, the walkie-talkie. It wasn't much to look at, just a pair of flash diamond-shaped gems. You stuck one to your head and behind your ear. The other probably did the same. You could talk to each other from up to a mile away. The only drawback was that they were the little cheapy deal ones that only 2 ponies could use. They were Bright Eyes, so he and Spike got to use them first. But the other Crusaders already made plans to save their bits and get sets of their own. Bright Eyes pulled a face at Spike's response. Nick saw it and translated it currently. Hey, Bright Eyes, tell my big brother stop drilling around and pay attention. She giggled. The comment was delayed. Hey, Spike whined. The cloud screen glowed and the speakers boomed again. Everybody's eyes were riveted anew to the enormous image. Twilight narrated as ponies moved into open doors. It's definitely Crystal Empire work. The stone of these doors is open. Close examination is actually a variety of they're opaque. Cloudy by the time exposure to the elements, as well as substances in soil after being buried. Can you tell us what the engravings mean, Twilight? Case's voice overlapped Twilight's. Yes, actually. It's been a subject of some discussion since it was uncovered. The lettering across the top, translated as closely as we can at the moment, is, Here lies our ancestors. Remember their wisdom. One alone was not enough. What this means is vague at best. Perhaps we will learn once we get into the inner chambers. There's a scraping of stone, loud enough that the ponies watching the screen could feel it beneath their teeth. Behind Twilight, the door slowly opened. Oh my gosh, this is it! Twilight said. The few suddenly bowed as Twilight levitated the ITM galloped closer. Every pony in the crowd gasped. Nyx held her breath, standing on the tips of her hooves as her mother brought her ITM to where they could see into the chamber beyond. It was a long, amethyst purple tunnel that shimmered in the approaching sunlight. Nyx could make out what looked like crypts or coffins laying the walls of the tunnel, running off into the darkness. There were lights inside, softly glowing clusters of crystals in the ceiling, every few yards that glowed with a faint bright green light. Great jumping horn toads! Abba Bloom gasped next to her, awful comfort caught in her hoof. A couple ponies went inside. Professor Memento, one of the finest archaeologists in the business, is going on inside to assess what we can see, Twilight whispered to the audience. He'll be looking for signs that... Oh, here he comes now.
Yellow-colored pony with a white mane and goatee stepped back into the sunlight. Little Stickies removed his spectacles and dusted them off his coat. I have to say that this is most certainly authentic, he said. Now 50 feet in is a small crypt that is most certainly a Queen Vivid Vision. The serpent allows the ancestral rulers of the Crystal Empire to be buried in. Liz couldn't hear the rest as the rest of it was drowned out by tears from the crowd all around her. Ponies everywhere were jumping up and down, cheering like maniacs. Other foals were freaking out pretty good too. Bright Eyes especially. It's real! It's really, really real! He shrieked. Candy Apple landed into the air to land some of Fortuna's mane, bouncing one of the others. Nick started to cheer too. Mom and Dad, she really done it. When she looked up at the screen, the sight down her throat. Someone on the enormous jumbo cloud screen was screaming. She couldn't make out what. Enormous shout falling over the scene. All the ponies on the screen were looking up with terror in their eyes. Oh, come on! Guys, it's not that bad! It's just a bunch of teenage dragons! Well, you're scared, Nix. Because they're no match, but for me. I'll be right back. Teenage dragons can handle. Now, this wasn't Garble of the Otter's Island. Why? Here we go. Kick the butt. Now, let's get back to the interesting plot. Yeah, who wants to fight these losers? So I was so kidding she could think. The tomb was real. The barrel was enormous inside. She was just getting ready to orchestrate the explosion inside when she heard something that chilled her heart. She heard Roller Reel screaming. She spun out and saw the scrawny half-camera pony running, half falling down the hillside, shrinking about every other step at the top of his lungs. It took her a second to make out what it was. Dragons are coming! Oh, they're just the teen dragons. Never mind! I thought it was Forgel or Umbrasil or Ryshan. I'm sorry. I thought it was cool dragons, but it's just those losers from Dragon Quest. Let's focus on this plot now! Two huge somethings flew up over the hilltop. The next moment, Twilight got first look at Scrags and Flyans. Their wings flapped, flying out the sky as they began circling overhead. Twilight had seen dragons before. Faced off against them, in fact. Nothing, however, erased that primal, artificial fear. Nope! I just am putting my hoof down. No, we're not replacing ourselves. I am putting my hoof down! Not this time! No! Yeah, we're tired of it! We're not replacing ourselves for anything! Let's fuck, girls! You mean, we're just gonna skip over the coward bit and just we're gonna kick some ass? Dang straight! Let's rumble! Okay, you asked for it, Vic! Twilight could only smirk as he saw the two teenage dragons, her heart glowing with impressive power. With one word, she sent one of the dragons tumbling to the ground. Flame strike! For the heavens parted. A pillar of pure radiant flame energy struck one of the dragons in the back, slamming into the ground. Before he could even have a chance to get up, Applejack ran up to the dragon's face, jumped up, and did a spinning back kick into the dragon's head, causing him to fall back. The dragon could only let out a weary moan before he fell unconscious. The second dragon flew overhead. Rainbow Dash smirked. First off, she did a come here pose, wanting the dragon to come closer towards her. Then, as the dragon neared her, Rainbow Dash flew around and created her own individual contrail, practically tying it up in her rainbow streak. Then she flew up, and then, becoming a blur of lightning, she struck the dragon multiple times on the back, causing him to crash down as well. Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack all just high-hoofed each other before walking away. Wait. We gotta do the scene, guys. We gotta make sure the story continues. Otherwise, this fic won't go on. Alright. The team ran inside whatever because of the dragons and... Really? Okay. Audience, out there. Whoever's listening. Do these sound like real opponents that the girls should be facing? Ooh, I'm Garble. I'm a fierce teenage dragon. Wee! The ponies are stronger than me. Wee! Boo-hoo! Oh my God! They're hitting me. Why are they hitting me? They're just a bunch of lousy, no good, stinking bullies. They're not much of a threat. So please, tell me, somebody out there, what makes you think that these losers are something that these girls should really be scared of? Because, realistically, no one's gonna be scared of them. Not Twilight, not Rainbow Dash, not Pinkie Pie, not Rarity, not Applejack. God damn it, not even Fluttershy would be scared of them. These are just a bunch of low-rage, weak, pathetic little teenage dragons that don't even deserve a name. So no, they don't even deserve to be real opponents, okay? Even a team of level 5 people could beat them. For crying out loud, Kiri could take them on. Kick their ass. Thank you, Kiri. So, no! Bunch of other crap happens and they all get trapped in. Next scene! Meanwhile, the Crystal Empire is about to get under attack by dragons. I'm gonna call in the Chroma Conclave right now to see if they would rather take over. Hello? Chroma Conclave. Would you guys prefer to take over? Oh, yeah, that's right. Darn you, Fox Machina! Why did you have to kill a really cool group of dragons? Reality check. This could not have been your A plan. You could not have actually told me that you looked at this fic and thought that this story about Nyx bonding with her family, what it needed was those loser, no good, pathetic, wimpy teenage dragons from Dragon Quest. You could not have actually looked at that and thought that was a good idea. I could have figured out a better dragon in less than 5 seconds using a Sapphire Dragon. Done! Just pull out your freaking Dragonomicon from 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons, which was the edition at the time. I'd use that. Yeah, it's 4th edition, but it's better than nothing. Or even just use a random monster guide. Anything is better than Garble. You know what Garble is? He is that bully that when he sees a real threat, he runs home with a little yellow trail running down in between his legs as he cries about how there are people stronger than him. That is who Garble is. Nobody likes him, Reality Check, but you throw him in! Outside, Garble and his monstrous stooges remained in the remains of the camp. Some of them remained themselves idly by crushing weapons and crates underfoot. Garble sniffed. He reached in his carry bag and pulled one of the diamond dogs out, dropping a rebel. Why are you even here? The diamond dog shrugged and walked away. Let's take a look at Crystal Alpha, still standing in camp, and took a time to look. Ugh, more quartz, he said, knocking over. Nothing here then. Garble said in noise. Dragons can eat gems, but quartz, being made of inaccessible silicon, was of no nutritional value. Equivalent dietary fiber, it has much flavor as sawdust. So stupid pony mine or something. He grabbed him with a diamond dog and stuffed him in the bag. You want to take those ponies out? Greg said. There ain't a lot of meat on them, but I mean... Did you not just see what those street girls did? Then wipe us out! I mean, if one of them knows the dragon slave, we're doomed! Well, then why does he go over and ask them? Fine.
That must be on Twilight. Constantly does his blood sauce.
Ah! They know dragon slave! Grandel looked over the hill so his eyes widened. Dude, why waste your time on appetizers when the whole buffet's right there? He pointed towards the city. All the dragons looked. There it was, the Crystal City, gleaming under the sun like the most enormous treasure trove in history. The endless sparkle had them drilling over a Pavlovian response almost instantaneously. Come on, please, Garble said. Time to raise socket hordes, big time. Roaring and whipping, the dragons flapped and limbered over towards the city. Hordes have more than dust gems, dumbass! The last of them had passed over the nearest hill. There was a flickering in the air, like a cloud glared taking seat. Bull Real appeared out of thin air. He gasped, only daring to breathe now that the monsters were out of earshot. He dragged his camera from overturned wagon and hit it. He reloaded, remounted it on his shoulder, rigged on autopilot, looking frantically. What did I do? What did I do? He mumbled to himself. He shivered, half in shock and half in the chill in the air. Till now, the sight of the dig had been covered by the expanse of the weather bubble. Princess apparently pulled back the force field of Crystal Heart City proper, preparing for the attack. He ran, half tripping over across the right, climbing on a crumbled rock of earth. Snoopy there at the top right. Hello? He said. Anyone in there? There's nothing but grim silence for a moment. Derek Hurley was a purple mask and worked his way up to the stones. He watched his form Laris. Yep. What do I do? Laris chains. We're set. We're safe. Go to the city. Get the dragon sword. Okay, I'll get help, he said. Hang in there. He staggered down the rubbly slope, saying he didn't know if he could make it. The city was a couple miles off, diving along in the rapidly chilling air with a crazy mess in less than one, but he had to try. Besides, he rolled up. He had a job to do. Oh, this is gonna suck, isn't it?